Hi, I'm Lou, and today I'd like to show you how easy it is to install your own sprinkler system. Unfortunately, mine's already installed, but I have all the parts and I can show you how to do it. Let's take a look. First, you'll need sprinkler heads. There's 4 different kinds. They're about $5 to $10 each. Then you'll need underground hose to hook them together. That is about $12 for a roll of 100 feet. Then you'll need various connectors to connect the hose to the sprinkler heads and to each other. Those are about $1 each. Then this big valve box, all the hoses run back into the valve box, and that's $20 to $30. This thing's actually buried underground, so this will be level with the top of the ground. Inside the valve box, you obviously need valves. You'll buy several of those, one for each zone, and that'll run you $10 to $15 a valve. Then 3/4 inch pipe to hold the valves together, to connect all the valves together. This little guy is if you just want to connect to a garden hose, your whole system to a garden hose, you can do that. Or better is to go in and hit your water main with the T. Once all that's done, then you'll need a controller. This electrically hooks up to all those valves. These little wires here hook up to this, and then a piece of cable to run between them. This guy will set you back about I think $60 for a 6-zone controller, and this wire, I don't know, $10 to $20 for 50 feet probably. All in all, if you do your own labor, you can probably put in a sprinkler system for $200 to $300. These 3 are pop-up sprinklers. They all come in different configurations. This one, for example, shows that it's 180 degrees, meaning it only sprays out one side, and you can see there's a slot here where it sprays out. You mount this in the ground. This would be flush with the ground, and then this will pop up out of the ground when the water comes on, and then you just kind of grab it and turn it wherever you want the water to go. So you point it in the directions you want one time, and then from there on it sits. And then you can adjust the volume, meaning how far out it sprays, with a little screw head on top. You can tighten or loosen that depending on how much water you want. And then when the water goes off, it just pops right back down in. Here's another one. This one is 0 to 360, meaning it is adjustable from anywhere from a narrow band all the way to a full 360, and then again you can adjust the volume with the screw on top. This is just another version of the same one. This one is an impact sprinkler. This may be a little easier to understand, although a little harder to maintain. These, once they're in the ground, unless you mow over them or something, they're there. This can fill up with dirt, mulch, and whatnot. But the way this one works is when the water comes on, this pops out of the ground. I've got it held there with a ballpoint pen. And it works just like your standard sprinkler, above ground sprinkler. Just that, that tick-tick noise as it goes around like this and sprays water, and you can set it to spray anywhere you want. To hook these sprinklers to the underground water pipe, you simply screw in one of these pieces. This is just waterline, 1/2 inch waterline connectors. Screw that into the bottom, and then I would put a hose clamp on the pipe, and then you just shove this on. And I won't shove it on all the way, but you kind of have to fight it to get it on, which is good because you don't want it to pop off later. If you're having trouble getting this on, just take a hairdryer and heat this piece up before you shove it onto there. It'll go on really easily. Once it's on, then put a hose clamp on there and tighten it down. This is stainless steel, so it won't rust underground. Anyway, tighten that down and you're good to go. In fact, I don't even use hose clamps a lot of times, and they're just fine. Then when you want to make a connection, say this is a first sprinkler in your run and you want to go to another one, you get a T. So you go from this to a T, and then tee off and run to another sprinkler and another sprinkler. You can, connect as many as you want. And, well, not as many as you want. You probably want to do no more than 4 sprinklers per zone. And a zone will be 1 valve in the valve box. I also also prefer this kind of sprinkler to this kind of sprinkler. The advantage is it loads from the side. The water comes in from the side, so you put your screw into the side like this, and then the bottom is left open for, they provide a little cap, which you take that out and you buy this little guy and screw it into the bottom. What this is a slow drain. In the bottom it's just got some fabric or something. Basically what happens is when the sprinkler system is off, it slowly drips out of here and drains any water that's in here and in the pipes so that it won't freeze in the wintertime. So I like to have this kind of sprinkler. They cost a little bit more, but it's nice to add those drains. Again, you want to put no more than 4 sprinkler heads on a line of pipe, and you run it into the valve box. Each line of pipe running into the valve box is called a zone, and it has, like I said, up to 4 sprinkler heads. This valve box is buried. Dig a big hole and bury the valve box all the way up to here. So this is, you can mow over the top of this basically. This lid comes off. Inside, it's just a hollow box. And what you're going to put in here is put a little bit of pea gravel on the bottom so you don't have mud down there. And then your valves are in here, and you hook your valves to the hose inside with this connector here. It's the press on that side, and on this side you just, screw it right in. So it looks like that, and then we'll talk about the other side. By the way, there is a direction to these things. If you look somewhere, you'll find an arrow, meaning the water's going that way, not the other way. So on this side, that's out to the sprinkler heads. On this side, you just get one of these 3/4 inch connectors that screws in to this side of the valve. And then from there, you're into regular PVC cement, which will hook together this to a 3/4 inch water line. And you're going to have several of these in the valve box together. So probably the best thing to do is to put a little piece of pipe and put that on, and then a T, another piece of pipe, and a T, a little over bit over here, and put another valve obviously off of that, and another valve. Put several of these valves lined up. If you want to do it the expensive way, you can buy a set of 3 valves already done, but it's much more cost effective to do this, and you can get exactly what you want, and it takes a little less space too. To feed your valve box, 3/4 inch pipe, if you want to just do this quick and dirty, you can put this kind of an end on it with threads on this side, and buy a piece like this that screws into the threads on that side and then has a place for a garden hose. So you just run your garden hose right into this and you're done. I don't recommend that. The proper thing to do is to put, run a pipe like this all the way into your house or wherever your water main is, and tee into your water main. So you have to cut your water main and tee in and add this pipe so you can run out to the sprinkler system. It's best to have a whole lot of volume of water to run the sprinkler system, but the hose will work. If you want to start with that and then later add the main, that's fine too. This is certainly a lot quicker to get started. Next is the sprinkler controller. Obviously you have to mount it somewhere where you can plug it in, probably inside a garage or just outside. Mount this on the wall. It's good for outdoor mounting if you needed. Inside, this is how you run the thing. You set your different zones and stuff. And then behind this is really what we want to get to next. This is where we're going to wire all the valves. You want to use this underground cable to run from here out to your valve box, and they have different colors. It's just underground cable. But essentially you want to wire your valves. You've got 2 wires per valve. One wire goes to the common, and the other one goes to the zone number. There's zones 1 through 6. You don't have to worry about the sensor or the pump. You just basically run these right to those wires, and you do that by, they're all different. Sometimes they're screwed down. This looks to be a push down. You push that down, and then you stick your wire in, and it'll clip on just fine. And then that's it. All those wires go down through this hole and out. Probably want to run a plastic pipe down to the ground and then bury it all the way to your sprinkler box. Before you get started, you'll want to put together a sprinkler plan where the sprinklers are in your yard. I'd start by going into Google Maps and looking at a satellite view of your house. You can put a piece of paper on top of this, tracing paper, and then trace it out so you can have a map to work from. So you're going to start with a drawing that looks something like this. You've got your house, your yard, your driveway. And then next you're going to place your sprinklers. So look at each sprinkler head and you'll see right on it the type of sprinkler it is and the range. Maybe you can't read that, but it says 10 to 15 feet. It'll tell you how far it sprays from this point in the middle. So then that is, if we want to put this one, say in this corner, we know it'll go 10 to 15 feet out like this. So there's your first sprinkler in the corner. Then you want another one to overlap. So we can put that in right maybe about there, so you get a little bit of overlap because you want kind of a straight line along here. And put another one there and another one say down there. So that kind of tells you that on this side of the yard you have 1, 2, 3, 4 sprinklers. The sprinkler will be right in the center of its path. So that one's just a 90-degree sprinkler. This one starting here is a complete 180. This one is a 180, and this one is a 90. And again, it says right on the thing there. This one's a 180. It shows the pattern 180, but you can get 90s and so forth. Do that, and then you might put another one. Once that's done, you put another one, say, right in there, right in here, here. You just kind of cover your yard with sprinklers. You can also, if you don't want to do a drawing, you can also do this just out in your yard. Just stand in your yard and take a measuring tape and measure out how far, 15 feet or 20 feet, whatever the sprinkler says that you're going to put there, and then just walk around and figure out where it's going to sprinkle and do it that way. Install your sprinkler system and turn it on. You should have a green yard in no time. Good luck with your sprinkler system.